Welcome! Thank you for lending an ear to the Voice of the Times for Friday, March 5, 2021. For today's editorial, Maladroit Spokesmanship. Malacanang spokesman Harry Roque Jr. is again in hot water for his careless public statements as Palace mouthpiece and concurrent spokesman of the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases, or RATF-EID. This time, he is full of apologies for thoughtlessly saying that people have been vacationing for a year during the coronavirus pandemic, with which many citizens have understandably taken offense. At a virtual press briefing last Tuesday, Roque, while discussing President Duterte's decision to rescind his declaration of All Souls Day, Christmas Eve, and New Year's Eve as special non-working holidays, suddenly blurted out, quote, "Filipinos have been on an extended vacation for a year now." He was roundly blasted by many for insensitivity to the plight of those who have lost their jobs due to the pandemic. Trying to explain himself, Roque said, quote, "That is not really a vacation, but rather a failure to earn a living. We have been on vacation for almost a year because of COVID-19. But this misses the heart of the criticism. Since All Souls Day, Christmas Eve, and New Year's Eve are classified as special working days, workers will no longer get additional holiday pay equal to 30% of their daily basic wage because of the president's decision." Militant farmers said on Thursday, quote, "Roque is not helpful as the mouthpiece of Malacanang. He is the one who should leave his post and take a vacation," Kilusang Magbubukid ng Pilipinas or KMP Chairman Danilo Ramos said. It is highly insensitive for Roque to regard our sorry situation as a prolonged vacation. It is the government that needs to catch up on its work of inoculating the public against COVID-19, he added. The group said Roque's statement is, quote, "insulting and offensive to millions of Filipinos who have lost their jobs and livelihood, to their families and loved ones, and to the majority who are facing uncertainties as a result of the pandemic." They ended with this unassailable point. "We reiterate to Harry Roque, there is no one taking a vacation in this country. All have been placed in a difficult situation because of the pandemic, and this was aggravated by the government's inaction on the plight of millions of workers." This is plainly not the first time that Roque has gotten into trouble because of maladroit spokesmanship. This is familiar territory for him. Earlier, Roque was rained with criticism for declaring that the public can't be picky about vaccine brands during the government's vaccination program, as though citizens cannot decide for themselves whether to be vaccinated or not. Sensing a loser, he quickly owned up to the statement being, quote, "a huge failure." "The government works for the people," a former COVID-19 task force advisor corrected him. "It cannot dictate on them the decision on vaccination. Because this misstep has happened multiple times and could doubtless happen again, and second, because it usually falls on us in the media to report to the public Mr. Roque's pratfalls, we want to offer some practical advice on correcting this erratic spectacle. First, we would advise the palace spokesman and all the government spokesmen for that matter to write down their statements before talking to the media or the public. A written statement will benefit from being thought out as compared to just talking outright, which can be error-prone. A spokesman's statement, by definition, is delivered on behalf of another person or an institution, so it logically requires careful formulation to meet a certain standard. Dr. Peter Sandman, a professor of communications, has written of 6 dilemmas in emergency risk communication that are of particular relevance to spokespeople. Candor versus secrecy, speculation versus refusal to speculate, tentativeness versus confidence, being alarming versus being reassuring, being human versus being professional, and being apologetic versus being defensive. The crucial takeaway here is that a spokesman must be thoughtful and never not just talkative. Advice to the palace spokesman and all government spokespeople: write down what you want to say before talking to the media or the public. And that's the editorial for March 5, 2021. For more news and information, get a copy of the Manila Times on print. Subscribe to its digital edition or log on to www.manilatimes.net. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and listen to the Voice of the Times.